Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dean Rogers. Welcome to another episode of Deals with Dean. Today, we're going to talk about a deal that was muy caliente that came from one of our TV ads. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's go. All right, welcome back. Before we get started, if you could smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, it will do a lot to help this channel, and we appreciate it. All right, so this deal I said was muy caliente, and that's because it was in the city of Caliente in California, and this deal came to us from our TV ads. Now, this city is a small city, kind of on the outskirts of where we normally do business, but it was still within reach and where we knew we had buyers. So almost reluctantly, we still pursued it with a little bit of, not knowing whether we were going to be able to put the deal together on this one or not. But lo and behold, we got the property under contract at a price we felt was fair and made sense, given the fact the property was vacant and was really beat up. So we sent this deal out, and we had a couple people that were interested, but no one really jumped on it right away, which kind of made us nervous a little bit that maybe we just didn't have a buyer in this area. So what we did next was we started making some phone calls to our buyers and seeing if they had a chance to see it, what questions they had, because again, we felt like the numbers were there. One of our buyers that typically does buy in one of these outskirts type of areas, we ended up talking with and finding out that it was just the timing for them that didn't really work out, but things actually ended up opening up about a week later, and they were now reinterested in the property. So we scheduled an appointment. The next door neighbor had the keys, let the buyer in, and we got the green light to move forward on the property. Now, once we opened escrow, got things going, we quickly found out that the property actually had a lien from the city for a code violation as well. And the issue was that the property had been deemed in substandard condition. Now, a lot of times when a property has been marked by the city in substandard condition, the situation, the issues need to be resolved to get that lien removed. And usually they're extensive. And if you're going to transfer ownership, the solution to that is the city requires that new buyer to sign what's called a stipulated agreement. And that is basically a promise from the buyer that they're going to fix and resolve those issues on the property within a certain time period. Otherwise, those liens are going to increase and continue. So most experienced buyers aren't going to be scared off by that, but just know that sometimes when that happens, the buyer might discover and find new issues and problems with the property that the city calls out and says that need to be fixed in order for that lien to be removed. So we worked through it with the buyer and the city and ultimately came to the realization that this was an old, long-standing code violation that had been there for like over a decade and was never fixed. And believe it or not, it was an extension cord that had been placed and ran for this light that was a violation to the city. Okay. Now, because it had never been resolved and was so old, it actually required some additional effort and time for it to be removed. This wasn't the normal type of lien where you could just order a payoff from the city and they could go ahead and just get you the paperwork for the payoff and you could be on your merry way. It required some more extensive time and effort, which was turning in to become a pain. Thankfully, this buyer has relationships with the city, spoke to them, and came to an agreement, not that the issue would be resolved prior to the close of the escrow, but it would actually be resolved after the fact. Now, what that means is that that lien wouldn't be removed, which can sometimes be an issue when you're trying to close escrow and get a free and clear title. But because this buyer was experienced, he was willing to take the title policy with exception to that one lien that was on the property. So he would be covered for everything except for that one lien. Now, the title company actually agreed to, once the issue was resolved, they would issue a new title policy providing a free and clear title, which is not something they would typically do, but they did agree to in this case. So this gave the buyer the warm and fuzzy feelings to go ahead and move forward and purchase the property still with that lien in place. That was great news for us and the seller, because we were both at this point about a month into the deal, working through things with the city, trying to get them resolved, and just were ready to get this closed before anything else happened to the property, like someone breaking in or any other kind of deal fatigue of working through things. At the end of the day, we got the deal closed, which turned into a $40,000 profit deal for us, which was a solid deal on a deal that we weren't even sure was going to be a deal. So needless to say, we were super excited and are loving on Caliente right now and hoping we get another deal from there soon. All right, well, that wraps up this video and is just a good reminder that having those good relationships with buyers who know how to get stuff done and are willing to work through deals as you have good communication with them is key to having that success. So make sure you work on those relationships, and until next time, peace.